Audio? Do we have audio? Do we have audio? Would you quit clicking this? Do we have audio? Do we have audio? We're trying to find out if we have the audio. Looks like we got our video. We got video. Do we have audio? Do we have audio? Make noises. Make noises. Make a noise. Okay, we got audio. Let me spank the co-host for this. Now he got his spanking. Everybody's good. All right, you can sit down over here. All right, it's the knife show. I found a knife, so we can talk about this one today. I'll give this sharp knife to the dog. Don't sniff it. I was just kidding. We got this one we found. It's always good. Since the last time we did a chat, I also found these. Found this sack of knives that I had been missing. Let's get some better light over here. These happen to have a ring light. This is a ring light. And we can just bring this right on over here. Bring this right on up. Look at that. Now we got better lighting. Is that too much lighting? So I found this sack of knives that I thought I'd lost. Turns out this dude tried to steal them, and he stashed them somewhere to hide them from me. These are the knives I brought to SHOT Show. He's sniffing them to make sure everything's in there. You counting them? We have this one, a auto axis from Benchmade. We could talk about this one. I've had this one for a long time. Got the butterfly knife from Bear. Talk about this one. Got this at Wanamaker coming up here in a couple of days. It's a nice one. Made in the USA. Butterfly knife. We talk about that one. Next up, this one's from Barbecue. An issue switch made in the USA. From Mayer Co. Pretty awesome. Use the same button that you use to open it to close it. Got the EDC from Mannix, the EDC Forum. What is this called? Is this a Mannix too? I don't remember what this, I think it's a Mannix too, but with the glow-in-the-dark scales and the my smoothest of axis blades. I'm always talking about how great axes are. This is what they're like when they're brand new and when everything's working good. Mine are always in my pocket and not working good, but they're not a switchblade. There's no assistance there. I'm just using the weight of the blade. Essentially, an axis lock turns on and off. So this is a great example of how great an axis is, both for opening it, which is great because a lot of knives can open quickly, but that's why I like it, because it'll just close and you don't have to worry about your fingers ever getting in the way. You can have gloves on or something, get it open. All you got to do is, I don't have to do anything either. All I got to do is open the lock, and the weight of the blade comes down, and when I close the lock, it stays locked. It's pretty awesome. Definitely would have been upset about losing that one. I can't replace that one. And then this one, a really cool old switch from back in the day, an orange knife. This one's expensive to replace, but could be replaced. Anyway, we could talk about any of these or some other knives. This is a knife show after all. So, saying hey to the people joining us live. I don't know who all is still out there after the audio issues or not, but earlier, Kingpin was out there. Good afternoon. Mike White, 2A Advocacy, also joining us. Thank you. Gizzard just had his show. That's why we were late, because of Gizzard joining us. Thank you. Welcome. Gunpowder Beauty also out there. She doesn't like knives. Girls don't like knives, but we let them watch the show anyway. MC, welcome. Gizzard saying hey to everybody. DJ's out there. I don't know if DJ likes knives or not. Have you ever heard DJ talk about a knife before? MC saying can't hang out long lunch break from building a shed. Dang, I really want a shed. I need a shed really bad, kind of, and $3,000 for a 10 by 10 shed. So I feel like I could make a 10 by 10 shed for less than that. But yeah, I think I could handle a shed. I can handle a 12 by 14 shed. I'm not telling you I wouldn't be able to handle that, but 10 by 10 shed would do the trick. What do you think about butterfly knives? Like them? Hate them? Too much for you? Don't like because you can only open it from one side? Well, you can open them from both sides. This thing is one of the funnest things I've ever got because I got it at Wanamaker out of a bargain jar, like these are blemishes or something. So it was a $10, I think, or 14 or something crazy, and I didn't even pay attention. I just thought I was buying a Chinese junk butterfly knife for a couple of bucks. And then when I got it home and looked, made in the USA, I was like, dang it, I should have bought the whole jar of them. Should have bought the whole jar. Next year after that, Ghost went over and tried to find them, and he said he couldn't find them, or else he bought the whole jar. So, just saying. And then this one is that one that I also thought I lost. I used to carry this one a lot until I thought I lost it one time, and I went to try to replace it, and it's like, oh, you can't replace this one. And then I quit carrying it, and then I lost it. And so I didn't lose it while I was carrying it, but I lost it in my bedroom, essentially. It went down behind my bed, got lost into this like crack of crap, and then was cleaning all that junk out and found it. So no lock, if you can notice. No lock. All serrated. People can't handle it. This knife cannot be handled by so many people. First off, some people don't like tip up, which is the only way to carry a knife. Why? Because when you take it out of your pocket, it's immediately useful. Boom, it's good to go. So some people can't handle tip up carry. They need it to be tipped down because they think it's safer. And then there's some people that don't like a clip at all. So right off the bat, that's bothering people. Then look how little and thin this knife is. A lot of people can't handle that. It's too little and thin. I need a bigger, substantialer knife. It has to be heavy. It doesn't weigh nothing. Some people can't handle that. Probably the blade. Some people are going to like carbon steel, and this is definitely a stainless. Look at how that is. What is this? It's a Gin 1. What is that? GIN1. Some kind of powdered metal, probably. But it's definitely stainless. Some kind of tool steel. So a lot of people don't like that. Here's the one I don't like. The only thing I don't like about this. Oh, wait, no. This is a good one. This one is screws. So I'll shut up. Sometimes they're bolted. My other good one is riveted. You can't take it apart. This one you can take apart, though. Some people probably don't like that you can take them apart. Some people probably would rather have a knife riveted, but that's just to be contrary. Let's see. What else would people not like about this? Definitely the lack of a lock. Some people can't handle it. Nobody cares about opening it without a lock, but nobody can handle that a blade will just close on you while you're using it. Thing is, I've had this for a long time, and it's never closed on me while I'm working on it. Let's see. What else? Those hole. A lot of people don't like the Spyderco hole. Oh, and then, of course, the serrations. Some people don't like straight edge knives, even if this thing was a regular blade. Some people wouldn't like that. And then some people can't handle that many serrations. So where are you at on that spectrum? Feel free to leave some comments. That's what it's all about. We're having a knife conversation here. I don't think you can get this one again. DJ's claiming he likes knives just fine. All right, right on. Butterfly or buttery smooth action. On this one, it's super nice because there's no lock or anything to get gummed up. Plus, it was all gross, so I just got done cleaning it. This is actually a very clean version of this knife. I've used this way too long, so it's got all kinds of stains from, I'm assuming, paints or solvents, but that would take a tremendous amount of effort to clean all that off. But the rest of it's working good because it's all clean. So I keep all my best, fanciest knives in this little pouch, and then I take it with me to SHOT Show. That way I can take a different knife around if I feel like it. I don't know, does anybody else have a rotation of knives? The white one the best. This one's a yellow kind of a color. It might look white because of the camera, but I don't know if I can get it dark enough in here. There's too many monitors and stuff, but it glows green and it's sort of a yellow color. And it's super brittle. It's super fragile. They only made it the run of these for this EDC forum, and then that's it, because this material isn't really a good knife material. Now it's smooth instead of textured, which is lame. I mean, it's kind of neat because it's, it makes it unique and stuff, but I don't know. I don't like it. I wouldn't want to carry it around anyway. I think I have carried it just to do it, but yeah, not very much. And I didn't use it much. So it's got all kinds of extra and like fancy, I don't know what you call that, jimping. But it certainly makes it easy to hold on to and work with. Let's see. That was Mike White. DJ saying, I'm cool with all those features. I prefer my carry knives to be half serrated. Yeah, I don't mind the half serration either. I used to have griptilians and stuff that are almost all half serrated. Isn't this thing half serrated? Yeah. Like most utility ones are half serrated because you do want some blade for some things, especially, for like first aid and stuff. You want some regular blade. I don't really like the serrations on this one. It's a little bit too small, but I mean, it's made in the USA and it's issued, so I'll take it. Because barbecue can't have switchblades up there, I guess. I forgot what we traded for this one. Let's see. And then serrations, people are intimidated by them because they don't know how to sharpen them, but they're super easy to sharpen. You just use a regular stone for the one side, and then if you really want, carry a round file, and you can clean them up. But for the most part, you just clean them on the one side, just flat. Just like a regular thing, you just got to pay maybe a little bit more attention to it. And this DJ said, I do have a rotation with heavy favorites. Let's see, I think we should probably try to jump into a screen sharing type of situation here. I'll bring this up. I'll shove the puppy down over here. And then what do we do? We'll come up to here and there and there. And then oh wait, I'm on the wrong screen. So drag this over to the Amazon. We'll take a look at what they got for butterfly knives. It looks like they don't sell butterfly knives on Amazon because they're lame. So this one's kind of neat. Take a look at that one since it's there. But outdoor edge 6-piece. Just curious. So we could take a look at Spyderco's though. Oh, and then we also have a special thing. I got a Civivi in the mail, so we'll open up this Civivi here in a minute. All right, so we got these Spyderco's, and what do you call? I think it's called a Europe. Well, those all have locks on them, so because it doesn't really say on the knife what it is. Sometimes the Spyderco's will say on the handle, like what model it is. This one doesn't. Oh, you know what? I might be able to Amazon Zap this. I'm going to try to Amazon Zap it. So does everybody know about the whole Amazon Zap situation? I'll start starring some of these comments. So let's say that you're using your phone and your phone has apps on it. You get yourself the Amazon app, right? And now, oh, look, I can shop with Amazon. How easy and convenient. But now you can click on that little button up there and now you're zapping stuff, right? So if I'm going to go over to this knife over here and I'm going to Amazon Zap it, Boom. I Amazon zap that knife, and now it's going to go in and look at all the knives ever. And it's like, is it a Delica? No. Is it that one? No. Is it any of these? No. Okay. So they don't have it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This one's kind of like it, except it's a lockback. Holy moly. Look at that. $242. This is kind of what happened when I went, because I thought I lost that thing. I went to go replace it, and I'm like, whoa, all these knives are super expensive. So this one's only 17 though. So we'll be taking a look at that Firebird. So that's some sort of fake Spyderco essentially. But that Dragonfly, and I think that my problem with Dragonflies is the clip is part of the plastic. Like it's a plastic clip built in for $71. So it's like $81 essentially to get a replacement for this little Spyderco. That's crazy. These are probably the same size. I guess these could be bigger or smaller. But anyway, that's kind of neat. You can zap things with your Amazon app, and it'll, if it's for sale on Amazon, it'll show you it or something close to it. And now I can go back to here, right? And bring the little puppy up. Now, since I zapped it on my app, I can go to my browsing history. And guess what? Come on, man. It should be in here. So lame. Usually it'll be in there. I'd have to go, I guess. Oh, did I, you know what happened? Is on the phone. All I did was search or, do a search. But if I come in here and click on that Dragonfly 2, and now I've looked at it, now it'll be in my search history. So I don't know if people use their search history on Amazon or browse history, I guess. But see, now it's there. So now that allowed me to zap it on my phone, and now I'm looking at it on my computer. All right. Are we back again? Got good audio? So I don't know what's going on. Probably because of barbecue. Let's just go ahead and play barbecue for this because this seems like something he would do on his show. All right. So I think we're back. Can you hear me snorting? All right. So going back to the screen over there, would you pay $70 for a Spyderco? Is I think what I was asking. And I was saying, after knowing what I've known, having them for as long as I've had them, I could see it, but I'd want to be able to take it apart. I'd like to be able to unscrew the thing. to take it apart. But man, that's a pretty good chunk of change for essentially a pocket knife that you can buy a rip off of it for 10, 20. So let's get back to this thing. What was this thing all about? This looks like an inexpensive one, just by judging by the picture. And interesting little butcher blade or butcher style, like butter knife looking thing. I guess that's not a mute. That's a mute. So would you get this thing? A Saban 440, which everyone, well, do you know? What's your opinion on 440? To me, that's garbage metal. That's like the cheapest of stainlesses. So 440 stainless, ultra sharp pocket folding chef's knife. So essentially, it's supposed to be like a folding version of a chef's knife. And I don't know if they just said, yeah, let's not make it pointy or not. I kind of like it, but I don't know if it's really. Oh, I see how big it is now. For $18, I think it's pretty neat. Did I already grab the link? Let's grab a link over here. And we'll drop a link if anybody wants to buy stuff. You're not, of course, obligated, but if you want to, the way Amazon works is we get a cut of it. So I'll throw this in here. And I don't know nothing about this one other than it caught my eye as I was searching. Okay, so there's that link if anybody wants it. But for $18, I don't know, it's kind of neat looking. Oh, I guess there's some other styles over here. I probably should have looked around. So different kind of wood. Now that looks a little bit more like a cutting knife, like a boning knife. Oh, that one looks cooler. This one looks pretty practical for sure. But then I kind of like this one. That's almost a bread knife. Oh, for $95, you can get the whole set. Isn't that nice? So I guess I should have looked around a little bit more. They have a couple of different models. This one's probably the best for doing stuff. Oops, this one is probably the best for doing stuff. Anyway, they're probably garbage because they're $18, but all right, so let's keep going. Some people were saying stuff, so I'll go back to that. If I missed you saying hey, it's because I'm being sloppy today. I haven't figured out how to do this show. My goal is to do a show chatting about knives, and then Gizzard went ahead and did a 4-hour show anyway, because I was trying to get Gizzard to do a show about knives every Sunday. And I'm like, well, I'm going to start doing a show about knives. So feel free to leave some comments, be part of the show. Should I make this a show where people join in? I know that that's kind of a burden sometimes, and I don't know. I'm not used to doing shows on Sunday morning, so I don't know if people are looking for something to do to chat about or to jump into, or if not, or if, we can make this, whatever this is called, where like a never enough ammo thing where you just sit here and say stuff. But anyway, DJ's giving us some stuff to talk about. He says you do have a rotation with heavy favorites. Yeah, that's how mine would be too. Like pretty much I carry this one knife all the time. And then every once in a while I carry a different knife. But most of the time I carry the one knife. Then DJ says, didn't like clips before, but want them now. So curious what made you change your mind there? And what do you feel about it? Do you use clips? What are you thinking about out there? Or do you like your knife to be swimming around inside your pocket? Or some people probably put it in something, like a sheath or something. Foss is saying, knives are all right if your hands aren't strong enough to tear things asunder. Well, you can do both. Every once in a while you want to be just like a surgeon and have the precision of a blade. And other times the raw power of just muscles is different. Nothing. I just gave it to you. Oh, okay. I thought we traded something for that. But thanks for it. It's a pretty cool knife. And now you can have switchblades. Well, no trade backs. No, if you want it back, let me know. Let's see. So then barbecue thought caught me by surprise too. Bought a buck 110 switch. So the buck 110 switches, I don't think they sell those on the Amazon, do they? Buck. I'm pretty sure Gizzard has one of them. Oh, so the 110 is just all of them, and then the Switch is a specific model of it. So I don't think they sell it on Amazon though. But I don't know. I mean, I grew up with a 110 also. That was the, I don't know which one to say. That was the knife in the olden days. That was it. Everything else was something less or something better. But there wasn't that much stuff better that you could just get. But man, oh, talk about huge. Talk about a lot of stuff you're carrying around. That's a lot of brass and a lot of wood. The blade was good, and compared to other knives, bucks were fine. Buck were extremely rude to me in 2010, so I've taken them off my radar since then. And like just personally, they were dicks to me, so I've taken them off my radar. And because they're massively huge knives, it wasn't a big deal. But then I did find one of these little bucks one time, like a little, might be something like this, little tiny, almost like a keyring knife, and I was impressed by it. I was like, dang it, it's a buck. But uh, it wasn't inexpensive is the thing. Like they don't they take their they appreciate their stuff. They don't want to give it away. It looks like the cheapest one is this one, so maybe this was, but it wasn't as big as a 110. Now I remember when the plastic 110s came out, and I kind of wanted one. That I think the army had them, like they were green or something. So I kind of wanted one, but I think it was all about that rivet. You couldn't take them apart, and I don't trust knives I can't take apart. I don't want a knife that's dependent on a rivet that's going to break, and then I can't do nothing about it. I guess you can. You can take the rivet out and replace it with a bolt, but then you got to do all that. But good to hear that you got your switches, because switches aren't evil or anything. Switches are just more convenient for some people, but they're really not. They're convenient to open. They're never really convenient to close, though. I shouldn't say that. The fronts are definitely convenient to close, right? Let's see. I didn't know it was called Zap now. The Amazon Lens. Oh, I don't know what it's called. I just call it Zapping. Yeah, it's just like Google Lens. There's also one in eBay. So in eBay, if you got that app on your phone, you can zap stuff with eBay, and it'll tell you essentially if it's in demand or if they've been selling or what they're worth. That can be pretty handy for stuff that isn't for sale right now. And that's probably, if I were to zap that same knife on eBay, it might tell me the name of the knife. I think that's how I figured it out before. Is an old eBay auction. It was so rare that there wasn't any current eBay auctions, but I'd found one that had expired a while back that told me what the knife brand, like model was. Gunswater saying I don't use the app for Amazon, just the browser. Yeah, I don't want to encourage people to use the app if you're apprehensive about it, because it probably is sucking a bunch of data from you. It's probably not. Oh, wait a minute. I just thought of something. Okay, I got a minute. It's probably not sitting there minding its own business for sure. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the opposite. I'm pretty sure it's doing everything it can to claim everything about what you're doing and what you're browsing and what you're searching for and everything else it can do. Amazon's one of the big data collecting ones, so I don't want to suggest it isn't. Some people don't care about that for sure, and other people do something appropriate, have a separate phone that is only used for that, so that while it's going to know everything about what you search for on Amazon, which is to be expected, that it then can't also pay attention to everything else you do in your life. So it is worth having a couple of phones if you don't want everything you do to be known by everything else you do, because that's the tendency of, or that's the kind of what's happening on phones these days. Anyway, so moving on. Gizzard says all knives should be orange. I don't disagree always, although this one that we're about to open here is a blue one. Why? Because they didn't have an orange one. There we go. There's my mouse. All right. So I lost my audio there. Hopefully it's back now. And then there's me dropping a link to that thing. The first one looks like a straight edge razor. That's what it was looking for. Yeah, that's definitely what it looked like. Have an open pan. Oh, have wheeled on. That's a good idea. Um, yeah, that would be a good idea. Mr. Knives. Yeah. I don't know if people know bonus points if you know why Mr. Knives is called Mr. Knives, but it's not necessarily what you think. Because they're just saying he has the Buck 112 Auto Elite, not the 110. Oh, okay. The 110 Switch is the 110A, so I don't think they'll have it on Amazon though, because they don't have any kind of switchblades or anything good on Amazon, unless this is it for $100. They don't show you the other side conveniently, but I don't think this is it. Let's see. Then Gunswater's saying, check out the rotary electric knife. Great for cardboard boxes. Rotary electric knife, huh? I think I have this over here where I can grab that. I have a rotary knife that's essentially like a little pizza cutter thing for cutting like fabric and paper and things that, are longer than what you want to cut with scissors. And that works freaking awesome. Oh, okay. This thing here, where when you squeeze it, it turns into a motor. I think this is just a regular one. You're talking something like one of these? $140? What are you talking to? Come on, man. $55, even that. $39? Maybe now we're talking. If I can find some Amazon return used one for the $30 version, maybe. I think I might have seen these before. I think I seen a video where somebody was cutting like, stacks of fabric or paper or something with them. And it looked pretty interesting. But I don't know. I'd pay the 50-ish for it, but more than that, I'd have to have used it for a while and have some purpose for it. I do have an electric knife, so you can get electric knives super cheap. So go get an electric knife like for cutting turkey or bread or whatever. You can go get those used secondhand at a secondhand place for nothing, for like $1 or $2. And definitely worth owning some of those for cutting foam and cutting maybe cardboard. I haven't cut cardboard with it. It'd probably cut cardboard okay, but cutting things with it, because they only cost you a couple of bucks, and you can get more blades for it if you have to. You can get another one for a couple of bucks, or look around at those same kind of places. And just as often as people get sick of owning it, I guess, the thing will break, and then sometimes the blades will be laying around. So, and there's not that many blade connections. So, FYI, you don't really, I mean, they're proprietary, but a lot of times the blades jam into each other. So, anyway, I think they're worth checking out. Full price, I don't know about full price, but definitely look for a secondary market of bread knives worth having around. Now, if you're going to be cutting a turkey or something, that's probably where you might as well buy a brand new one. Yeah, I didn't get a bad experience with customer service as much as they were just snooty to me. And I was like, you know what? That just indicates to me that these people are too snooty. Like, they don't need anybody's help. So I just quit paying attention to them. But they're also so heavy that, it wasn't hard to not pay attention to them. And the thing is, a lot of the other knife companies are super nice. Like, they're super cool. They hire cool people. Like, they're making knives for crying out loud. Like, who's even mad at them? Nobody, except for when they do a dumbass thing like what Benchmade did. Nobody ever gets mad at a knife company. There's no politics of knives. Like, essentially, the worst they can do is make a knife shape or like a combination of blades somebody doesn't prefer as much. But, it's essentially like a great job, I'm assuming. So, I don't know. Everybody's different. The Roto Zip. Let me throw Roto Zip in here. You may not be able to hear it, but that's this dog who could care less about knives. He's sleeping. Okay, $39. Oh, wait, hold on. So wait, you were saying check out the rotary electric knife, great for cardboard boxes. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. When you cut it when they're like this, and you just put in like a mill bit, and then you would just drag that across the cardboard boxes. Well, I think that would definitely, that's a power tool. So I think that would work too, yeah. Or one of these maybe. I don't know if that would work on cardboard. Or maybe they make a cardboard bit. I've been using just a razor knife for cardboard. I've been dealing a lot with cardboard lately, actually, and razor knife for me has been doing it. I just did a video. Where do I find my videos? I just did a video of a razor knife. Do I got it over here? I just happen to have all my videos open over here. And I think I did it last month, so I'd have to look for it. But kind of a actually, it's worth maybe taking a look at. It's a crazy utility knife, like uh, razor blade knife that somebody put more thought into than I'd ever imagined people would put thought into. How am I gonna find it? I'm gonna try going to here and go into tools. Maybe I think I put it under tools. And then let's see, we're already at 40 minutes, so we'll just go an hour. I'll probably open up this knife here in a minute. Civivi came to me and said, "Hey, you want us to send you a knife?" I was like, "Yes." So then I said, "I like orange and blue," and then they gave me this blue one, I guess. So that was pretty cool. And I'm guessing it's because we've been doing a bunch of videos on Amazon, or I also shoved the videos up on YouTube, so maybe they saw them over there. But kind of neat. I can't imagine. Okay, there's tools. I was like, why can't I find my tools pile? So now I'm in my tools pile, and yeah, of course it's not in here. Why would I have not put it in here? It makes no sense. So I guess I'll go back to my main pile and try to scroll back. It's going to be a while. So am I getting this roto tool right? I don't know if I feel like maybe I'm not getting that roto tool right. DJ saying the Ninja Turtle that had two sides. Nope, that's not where Mr. Knives gets his from. I always thought he was like that because he's called Mr. Knives because he likes knives. I mean, I guess technically that's one way of saying it, but there's more to it than that. Let's say there's more detail to it than that. And then I like the razor knives that are able to auto load a new knife or a new blade. That's pretty cool. I think I have seen some like that. I got addicted to the kind where it's like a strip of blades in a row, that you just kind of break the tip off all the time. For the stuff I was doing, those things were really handy. And I forgot what the price was, but the price wasn't so bad that I didn't mind going through them. But they are what they are. They're not good for everything. And for the long term, they're expensive. But, when you're doing stuff with like tar and glues and stuff like that, where the knife itself has a tendency to like get destroyed or get covered in goop, it's nice to be able to just start over. But if you're not doing all that, here it is. If you're not doing all that, then
wow, this easy
kind of a fragile knife. So here's this video that I found this thing the other day that was pretty, I don't say overkill, but it's like I say, the most effort I've ever seen put into a razor blade knife.
Wow, this Easy Cut 2000 is really one of the coolest razor knives I've seen. So let's start off with some of its features. Right off the bat, you can see that there's a clip. You can put it to your belt. You can have it sideways, horizontal, vertical, anywhere in between. Nice strong clip. You can put it on a belt, easy to take the entire thing off while it's still in its Kydex sheath. Next, it has a retention lanyard. You can take it off here at the blade or at the sheath real easily and still retain your lanyard on the knife. For example, if you're going to be using it someplace else, when you remove it from the sheath, the blade is not exposed until you pull on this handle, and that's what brings the blade out. There's an adjustment over here that tells you how far the blade's going to come out. You can replace the blades up top here. Lots of features. It's got a little pushing end here, so you don't have to worry about cutting things. If you just need like a pry or a push or to break some tape, you don't even have to bring the blade out. Great item, real easy, handy to use. It's called the Easy Cut 2000. I really hope this helps.
I never seen
Start
that
off
thing.
with some of its features.
Come on, man.
Right off the bat, you can see that there's a clip.
I'd never seen that thing before, so it surprised me. It's $9, kind of expensive, but imagine if you were, back at a shop or something where you just went boxes for an entire shift or something. I bet you that thing would be pretty. And I think I've lost my internet. Back again. Is it worth scrolling Amazon? I don't think I have any other. I have a, what do you call this thing? Cold Steel's cane. Let's take a look at that.
If you're looking for a walking stick or a walking cane, then this one from Cold Steel, it's their heavy duty cane. It'd be for you. It's 37 inches long. It's got a really strong grip up here, the Cold Steel type plumber. It's got a rubber traction at the end, and itself is hollow aluminum that is tempered for strength, and it weighs altogether 15 pounds, so less than 1 pound. It's super strong. It's very wide. It's not a tiny, thin cane, and a lot of feet packed into a variable watch. If you need help, or if you know someone who uses it as a gift, who might appreciate it as a gift, still walking cane. I hope this helps.
So another.
If you're looking for a walking stick,
another kind of a opportunity came along. So if anybody wants that cane, let me know. I've got that cane laying here. Let's see. Do I have any other knife stuff? Not a lot of opportunity to do knife stuff on Amazon. Here's some Halloween knives. This isn't knives, but I can play this. This is something neat. Let's take a look at this Otis, what they call their all-caliber elite range box with universal gun cleaning gear. So let's take a look at what you get in this. First off, it's in an MTM case. MTM is made in the USA. This is what they call their range box. And this thing you're going to see has got lots of stuff going on with it. To begin with, though, it's a standard size box. It's got like a toolbox. It's a little bit wide and short. It's got these handles built in, and we'll see more about that later. Otherwise, it's nice solid material. It's nice and black. You've got a flat top. The handle folds down, so you can stack it real easily or pack it away. So first thing you've got is two clasps, and we'll open up the top here, and you can see that all around the handle, there are storage compartments. There are double storage compartments in the back. Nice wide, deep tray here in front. So plenty of room for all of your cleaning stuff. But if you take a look at the attention to detail here, when this closes, this is securing right up to the lid. So none of these small parts are gonna, if things falls over, these small parts aren't gonna transfer between themselves. Now it comes stocked with all kinds of kit. I don't even know how much stuff is in here, but this is a gift. So it's all brand new, and it's essentially a spectrum of the tools and supplies you're gonna need to take to the range and to do some gunsmithing. So now what we'll do is there's clips on both sides here. We'll open those up, and now we can lift off the toolbox off the top, and it has its lid, right? It could still be used, or if you're not going to use it, I suppose you could stow it underneath, but we'll just set it here to the side for now and take a look. Again, you've got lots of more stuff in here, the parts that are included
Lots of flexible rods, lots of connectable rods for pulling out and cleaning. Now you've got patches, well-made ones that are sized appropriately. A lot of different cleaning brushes, pull-throughs, tools, brushes. This is an all kit. Everything from 170 to 10 gauge shotgun. Pads also. But now, let's say you need to have a block. There's your rifle block. This type of stand. There's your stand. Along the sides here, you've got racks for your cleaning rods, for your other accessories. Now you have a durable platform for doing range work in optics. If you need to work through the magazine, that locks in. Great kit, all made in USA, all designed to be packed and stowed in a nice package. Hope this helps. Great gift idea.
So if you didn't see the price on there, what would you think that cleaning kit costs? And then if you've seen the price, was it higher or lower than you'd expect or what you would pay? So Warsaw, I got your email. Are you down with showing that picture? You're all right to we show that picture? So Gunswater's saying, no, I messed up. That was for drywall. The name of the zip tool is more like that $35 one, I think you're saying. Yeah, like I say, I think something like an electric pizza cutter could be handy. I wonder if there's a way to torque that up and not make it such a big thing. But yeah, I think that would be pretty handy. I'm definitely liking my rotary cutter, the non-powered one. All right, so Warsaw sent this picture over, and I don't think that's got any info on it. The so what you're saying over here, let's go back to what he's saying about it. Used a Hannibal tactical pack that I've added some T3 saw pouches. So saw is a belt-fed thing that uses sort of a big container. So these are about 8-inch by 6-inch by about 3-inch deep, pouches, pockets that you put on the outside of the pack, facing the rear on the bottom, and a utility pouch in the middle, which looks essentially like a Vietnam M16 magazine pouch. And then 2 water bottles behind it, which are more like the neoprene bottle holders. So they're long and tall compared to an old canteen pouch. And then your pack to begin with was sort of a long rectangular, bigger than a shoebox, but like the overall shape of like a upright shoebox. So this kind of all wraps around it. It gives it a bit of an Alice gear shape. Let's see, what do I think? Then you said, decided just to mod my bag rather than a bag that is more expensive that has less capabilities. So that's the thing. I think that would be an interesting conversation to have. I don't like selling stuff or buying stuff just for the sake of buying it. I know some people like to buy nylon. I mean, I like to buy other things. I like to buy some stuff. Like, I understand buying stuff to buy it. Nylon is addictive, and it's interesting, and it's like there's people to feed your addiction. So you get, let's say, a medic, or let's say you get somebody doing something like a breacher, or you get somebody in a helicopter that's doing some job, or you get a mechanic, or you get a driver, any job, any specific job, and you're driving along, and like, whoever designed the vehicle that you're in didn't put a water, a place to put water, or they didn't put a place to put your map, or they didn't think about your flashlight, or maybe GPS units didn't exist when they built that airframe, so there's no place to put a GPS. So you're going to find out as the human interface there, like, hey, I need some place to put a piece of equipment, or a place to put my snacks, or this would make it more comfortable, or this would make it easier for me. And then you just tell that to people. And then somebody with a sewing machine figures out a way to make that out of nylon, and it's magic and it works. And then somebody else comes along eating nachos and goes, hot damn, I could use that for airsoft. Or somebody comes along and goes, hot damn, I could use that in the ambulance. or somebody says, hot damn, that would sell like hotcakes. I'm going to have that made in, whatever, Vietnam, Taiwan, Bangladesh. And, I get that made for pennies on the dollar and it'll sell. And that's where nylon is never ending, because there's always going to be somebody who comes along with a better way to do something. Sit in a cockpit, sit in the back of a vehicle, be bored, be in immediate action. Like all these things influence nylon, and it instantly adapts. It's better than a 3D printer, because anybody who's creative with some thread and some nylon is gonna create a thing for you, and then that evolves into a bunch of stuff. So nylon is pretty addictive, and so there's different points of view on it, I guess, different perspectives on it. I'm gonna say I can go both ways. I can go with the buy stuff that's made, because I own stuff that's super good. Like I understand well made, US made, purpose driven nylon. Like I get it. Like I own a bunch of it, and you don't have to pay a bunch for it. It costs a lot when it's made, but as soon as there's some problem with it, or as soon as the equipment moves on, or as soon as something else comes along, it's useless, and or at least it gets discarded, and you can buy it for pennies on the dollar. So you can buy some of the best made shit for almost nothing. So don't be fooled into thinking that I'm trying to get you to buy the most expensive shit right off the shelf. Somebody is, but let that depreciate and then buy it used from them later. But so I get nylon. I get buying good stuff. I got a bunch of stuff that's just general purpose, hard, strong. It's never going to break. But then I've always been an advocate of modular. So the way that you got it, I don't like your main pack because it's not made in USA. But if you got something, I'm trying to think of who makes a little pack like that in that form factor that's made in the USA. Maybe let's just say Tactical Tailor makes something little like that. Or you know what is? It's kind of looks like my tiny little Spec Ops bag. So if you had a little Spec Ops THE bag in there instead of that thing, all right, I'm down with that. And that's essentially the same bag in the middle. And then putting those circular things on the side for water. Dude, I did that all the time when I was younger. That's all I ever did, is because I got learned how to put my gear together by guys from Vietnam. So they used canteen pouches for everything. So that's all we did, is take something like a butt pack or a tiny Alice pack or a little something, and just start adding canteen pouches to it. So I'm all about that. The modular means you can take it off and give it to somebody. That and a 550 cord, and you've got a sub pack. There's a million reasons why you'd like that over just a pack with the sides pockets sewed on. And then the same thing with those front pockets. Now it's a little weaker technically, but nobody gives a shit. Like that doesn't even matter. Like, it might fall apart or something, but it doesn't matter. If that's happened, you got way worse problems than your attachment points failing on you. But and maybe if you were jumping, you wouldn't be able to jump with all this shit. So you're not jumping, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think sub packs attached together is super useful. I've often, back in the day, because I quit doing stuff to do gun stuff, but back when I was first doing gear, I couldn't find my old stuff. But my old stuff is SKS bandoliers and packs like this. When I'd go hunting and stuff, this is all I would do, is just take a little pack, but I would start with an army butt pack and strap canteen cans to it, or canteen pouches to it. And then I did have some garbage that I would strap to the outside, and then it fell apart. And that's why I'm 100% justified saying don't buy garbage. It just wastes your time. First time you buy garbage and you take it out into the woods and it falls apart on you and you're just standing there with, garbage and all the stuff in your hands. You understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that's my thing on it. And I don't know what you got going on with those straps around the outside, but more than likely they're going to fall off and just get in the way. Get your retention from your pouches being strong enough to be able to deal with just their own retention, and then the back of your backpack should be strong enough to deal with anything weight on the front of it. So you shouldn't need those compression straps, because they're just going to get in your way and fall off. And if they're elastic, you don't need them. They're worthless. And if you're not jumping, you don't need any of that shit. Just let your stuff dangle. I guess it might stop it from making noise, but you're probably not running with all that shit on. But anyway, I dig it. Color wise, I'm down with OD, and it'd be better if it was all in multicam, but something similar to an Alice pack. It does look a lot like an Alice pack. That was $200. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much stuff costs nowadays. I like surplus stores, and I like trying to, find something like a group of people that are into nylon, and then they will get rid of stuff that you're drooling over. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that are into something don't appreciate the stuff that you consider awesome. It's just the nature of people that are into stuff. Let's see. Molly is good. Just make sure it's not the cheap. Yeah, the Chinese garbage is just going to fall apart on you. Let's see. One pouch carries a gray water thermos and carries cooking stove. And I don't know. If you're going camping or something, I don't know. Don't worry too much about cooking if it's a go bag. $200 was a container you were showing, the plastic box. Oh, okay. All right. Well, so yeah. And if anybody wants to send knife pictures, I haven't done that very often, but feel free to send in knife pictures if you want. We can do knife corn. That's what it's called. Corn, Korn. Gizzards are scared to do that on his shows, I guess. But now let's open up a knife that I was sent by Savivi. So hopefully I'll get a whole bunch of knives. Back in the day, I used to get knives all the time. It wasn't so hard, and now there's a zillion people. Whoa, what happened? What was that noise? There's a million people making content, so a little different getting knives. I guess I'll just do it right here. Oh, I guess that's why it's so weird. Let's change screens up here. There we go. So again, I was just minding my business, and Savivi came along and said, "Hey, you want a knife to do reviews of or something?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So you don't have to do anything. You can just be out there doing your thing, and somebody will come along and understand that you can help them out, essentially. Guns and Barbecue is saying Mr. Knives is Mr. Knives because he fought for knife rights in California. Nope. I mean, he may have, but I don't think that's why he's called Mr. Knives. Woods is saying, I don't have any knives worth picks. My best knives are buck 110s. Well, it's all about, look, I'm showing us a barcode. Look at that. I'm showing a barcode. Knives is a pizza cutter. That's getting closer. Similar, but closer. So there's a little sticker on here, which doesn't even let me open this thing until I claim that I'm going to read the instructions. All right, so it comes in a little pouch. What do you think of this? Like it, and you appreciate it, or you look at something like this and you go, oh man, like this is money they're spending that they could have spent on materials or quality of the knife or another, something else knife related? Or do you look at the little knife pouch and go, sweet, that adds to the value. It's all furry on the inside. Let's see if this dog appreciates the furriness of the inside of this thing. Oh, shit. He's completely could care less. So even though it's fuzzy in such a way that he seems almost to be annoyed. He's almost annoyed when I shove this in his face. Sometimes you shove something fuzzy in front of that dog, and that would be his whole concentration for the day. So I'm just saying. Let's see. We got a bunch of stuff in here. Snot rag, you can blow your nose or whatever right there. Some sweat on there. We got a catalog, I guess. I'm guessing that's a catalog. The warranty and knife use information. Then, more importantly, a cool sticker in a green color. And is this the same knife that we got? It might be. No, it's not. It's close to the knife that we got. Oh, this is interesting. I thought it was going to be a flicker knife. What is this? What is this? All right. Wow, that's just the way the knife is. There's just this big bottle opener. So, yeah, what's that? This is, let's go out a little bit, I guess. What do they call this one again? It's written on the side of the box here. I'm looking. It is called a quibbit. Quibbit. Named after the town in Canada, the quibbit. I really like the button. So no liner lock or no back lock. And all you got to do is push that button and the blade closes. Big. That's cool. It's smooth aluminum. I don't know. I can get used to that, I guess. It's fancy. I should have held it like this. And let's see. I'm assuming I can push the button and flick it open. So I'm assuming without my dog being this close to it, it would probably be flicking it more. Let's see if I can bring it over here a little bit. Yeah, I think this one doesn't need to be opened like this. That's why it was awkward flipping it with the stud. I think this one, you just wrist flip it open. The blade is certainly decent enough has enough mass to it. Definitely closes. So I'm digging this one more and more. All right, so let's take a look at other things. You can take it apart. That matters to me. So we got that going. It's got the clip and the tip up, which is a good. I wouldn't even have requested it or wanted it if it was tipped down. You can put it on both sides, so even people that use their other hand. There's right-handed people that are right and handed, and then there's the other people. And the other people can use this one. And that's legal. It's legal for them to have knives. It's got the thumb studs. I'm so used to Spyderco's that it takes me a minute to get used to it, but I think I could get used to it if I had to. It's super sharp. It's very, very sharp. I've already jammed it into me twice now. And the button is just on the one side. I dig it. I don't know what Gizzard's opinion of it is. I know he's got one. He said Snob has one. It's not very thick. The aluminum handle is a little weird. I only have a couple of aluminum knives, so that'll take me some getting used to. Would I carry it every day? Yeah, in a second. How much does this knife cost? Does anybody know? I guess I gotta go look on the Amazon. Hold on. Didn't I have an Amazon window open a minute ago? There it is. So let me get back to where I can search for something. This is called a Civivi. Does anybody own any Civivis? And this one is called the... All right, I forgot the name again. Cubert. Cubit knife. All right, this one seems to be a $66 knife. And about 100 people buy one of these every month, according to Amazon. $100? I probably wouldn't because I don't like aluminum as much as plastic. So I'd probably buy this in a plastic material first, like that cool honey one that Gizzard has, if that's the same thing. But as far as the button lock, I really, really, really like that. And I'm just sitting here awkwardly fiddling with it with my dog approximately an inch away from it, so I don't want to fiddle with it too much. But I think once I played with this for a minute, I'd get to be pretty easy to open this thing. And yeah, the lack of texture in the aluminum, I don't think I would rather go for a textured polymer. But did I also mention whoa, no lanyard hole. So $100, no lanyard hole. It's a longer handle than a blade. I'm just noticing that. Maybe it's just an optical illusion. I mean, they are approximately the same length. It just looks like the handle's a lot longer. I don't really mind the look. I think it's got a pretty clean look. $100. I guess I could see it. It's certainly fancy. The blade seems extremely sharp. Yeah, the blade is essentially a razor blade. It's a hollow ground. It's like a Spyderco. Most of the ones. This is the kind of blade I like on my Spydercos. I call it a leaf blade, but I don't know what it's really supposed to be called. Drop point, probably. But it's a whatever kind of ground, and it's starts thick up here and it goes down thin here. Same thing, starts thick here, goes thin here, and there's no crazy, extra grind in there. It's just a nice flat ground. So it makes for a super nice cutting blade, and it just looks super cool, I think. So yeah, the Civivi Cubit utility knife, 66. Oh, why was I saying $100? So 66? Yeah, for 66, what am I saying? What was I thinking? 100? $66? Yeah, you can't really get a decent knife for less than 50, $60. And this thing's got definitely the features. I would say this thing's maybe a little bit too fancy for me. Like I say, I don't know. Do they make one that's this with a plastic handle? Because this is kind of the stuff I like from back here. It's the stuff I liked from some of the Gerber or from some of the Benchmades. And up here, it's essentially a Spyderco blade, which I really like. So I'm looking at the, we'll go back to the screen over here. The dog is super excited about this. I was looking at this one here, which is pretty neat. It's 72. A little bit different handle. And if it was going to be aluminum here, I feel like there'd be a little bit easier to hold on to this one. Or this one even. This one's kind of neat. The mini Praxis. But now that I'm looking at them, they don't really do a lot of stippling, do they? Or a lot of texture on the grip. This one's just built into the material, I think. I really like this one. If they would have gave me the option to grab this one, I would have grabbed this one for sure. This little hook on the blade gives me a little issue. That's the front of the blade here. That seems like that could catch on a pocket or something. No? Gizzard has one. I don't know if he's carried it. But does this thing catch on a pocket? It looks like a little hook. I don't know if it's supposed to be a bottle opener. But I do not ever need a bottle opener. And I never want something to catch on stuff. Now it looks like they've got a Cubit in orange sitting right here for $66. How come I didn't get the option to get an orange one with a black blade? That would have been cool. So I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, would I rather have this blue one with a stainless blade or that orange one with a black blade? I like the stainless blade better than the black, probably, but I do like the black blade. Oh, snap. I just opened this thing super fast by flipping it, so evidently once I figure out the technique, and I'm not worried about my dog's face, it's super easy to open. Civivi's, I've only opened Civivi's, Elmar, Benchmade, Buck, Spyderco, CRKT, and a bunch of other ones downstairs, and literally nothing opens like a Civivi. Like, I don't know if they use special fancy ball bearings, rounder ball bearings, or they use like Aegis gun cleaning solvent or lube or something, because there's once you figure out see, for me it's holding on to it, it's too smooth, but once I'm got a good grip on it, it just opens. Wow, it's super nice. All 5 models of Cubit are aluminum handles. Okay. Let's see, it says $75 on the Civivi website, so you get a price break on Amazon. Oh, okay. And then it looks like gizzard, you just got that honey one. Is that an elementium? But it doesn't look like anything they make really has texture. So, you could do that on aluminum. There's nothing stopping you. You could probably take this to a laser place and have them laser it into some kind of a texture. All right, well, so we're about an hour, actually a little bit over an hour. You don't owe us anything extra. We're not going to charge anything extra just because we went over an hour. This isn't like a Tuesday evening show where you owe them if they go over the time scheduled. Or like when a Gizzards is 4-hour shows every Sunday morning now, starting again. But on this one, it's free if we go a little bit over. What did people say about having a pouch? Is that a bonus or is that like a disappointment because they shouldn't even be putting that in the price? So BB calls it a drop point, but it's not like any other drop points I own. I call it a drop point. Gizzard says, at first I thought the blade was too thin, but it holds up well. I was surprised by it. You can attach a lanyard to the spacer on the back of the knife. Oh, up in here? So Gizzard is saying that we would want to add a spacer in here, like up in behind here. I guess that's true. It technically looks like it's even designed to do that. Okay, that's a design feature. They just didn't drill a hole. I'm actually okay with that because it'd be interesting to see how that angle lanyard works with this thing. It'll be a little tough getting 550 in there, but I have the technology to make that happen. All right, thanks for that. It turns out Civivi was actually thinking. This is how I usually use audio when I move it to look at this puppy. There's a dog right here. Let's see. So then, I think we talked about that one before. Mr. Knives was a butcher. Pink. Hit the nail right on the nose. Hit the dog right on the nose. Hold on. Hit the dog right on the nose. Right on the nose with that one. Oh, Foss has some incoming corn. Hold on. Let me go check my corn pile. Which address did you send that to? There we go. Boom. Barbecue sent him this one. Barbecue is what we call a knife gifter. He goes around gifting knives to people. Hillbilly Up, also knife gifter. Okay, bringing this one up on the screen. Wait, do I still have the screen up? Very difficult when your co-host is so lazy as this co-host is. You can see how well he's doing as far as helping with the show. He essentially lays on mice all the time and then lays on the keyboard. So let's get rid of the Amazon in the background, all the Amazon in the background. And this is another barbecue knife. Do you feel obligated to eat barbecue or cut barbecue things with this? Or are you saying this is a knife that you wear at barbecues? I'd say this is like a fancy buck 110. It's like the buck 110, and then, they added some character to it or added some flair to it. Went with the Damascus knife or Damascus blade. Chocolate Butcher. Definitely Chocolate Butcher now. Oh, a pizza cutter. Well played. Well played, but it wasn't that. All right. Well, so this might be boring for people that aren't reading the chat because I'm not actually reading everything that I'm responding to in the chat, but I'm flashing it up on the screen for people that are looking at it that way. But we'll get better at this show. I got to get my bearings. It's been a while since we've focused on gear and stuff. We'll probably add flashlights for sure. Maybe some other camping, outdoor, survival, backwoods, whatever you want to call, like gear, travel gear. We'll probably do some shows on those, but mostly knives and, like I say, knives and flashlights. Probably knives and then a little bit of flashlights. We'll see. But again, it'll be on Sunday early. I don't want to say always morning, but earlier in the day on Sundays. And we'll see if we can't pin it down at a time. Now, if we can get a bunch of people together who like chatting about this stuff, then, like say a couple of good shows every week or every month on knives, and then maybe mix it up with a show or two here and there on other type of equipment so that we can get a conversation going. Then, let's see if we can do that. Otherwise, we will wrap this one up. We'll say thanks to the people who joined us live and dealt with the chaos of this one. We'll put Puppy back up on the screen here and say to Puppy, thank you, Puppy, for being part of the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. There's a lot of people that hate it when you bring a dog on the show, or they hate it when you talk about the dog or do this to the dog's face. But, I'm doing it right there. Did it to his face again. I'm doing it right now. To his bottom of his face, and now I'll do it to the side of his face. But what are you supposed to do? When a dog's got a face like this, you got to do this to it. Otherwise, I don't know. You're not doing your job as a dog person. Quit touching the mouse, dude. We'll throw a commercial up here for our store. Stay tuned. We're going to be putting more and more garage sale type stuff up on the store that might be of interest to people. We want to thank people that make it possible, mostly for our more important projects, but we play around like this thanks to their generous support. Most of them subscribe to what we do over on the Patreon platform for about a cup of coffee each month, $5 each month, essentially buying us a cup of coffee. Some people buy us lunch, $20 a month, and that adds up. It accumulates and lets us pay for the 3 servers that we've got, and then the software. It's not that much software, but some software. We recently added $100 a year layer of software to everything, and that's possible by people who make it, who throw a couple of bucks into the pile as capitalists to help support financially the stuff that they value. So we're not the only ones out here doing that. There's other people on Patreon. There's other people who put their hat in the ring, creating content, being part of the community, and others even getting more done, boots on the ground. And going into an election year, we're going to have some of the richest people on the planet throw their financial resources around. So more than ever, it is appreciated when the few who are able and interested to throw some financial resources at projects that you value. It is appreciated, because otherwise, like anything, we would fall to the bills and the other things that come up that demand our time and attention. And although this knife show is nothing, again, I do appreciate the Patreons for all the stuff that we do that's of value. All right, we'll wrap this one up with the commercial to the store, which is another way that as capitalist you can participate in our financial continuation. And we'll be back next week for another one of these shows. Tomorrow we'll be on with an interview for someone in the Second Amendment community. And every day we've got something else coming up. Thanks for joining us.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.